time to be someone I want to recognize. The future starts right now.
What's going on, friend? Welcome back to another episode of the Try and Stop Me podcast. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Colleen, but you can call me Kyle. Every single Monday, we have a brand new episode. Some Mondays, it's with some truly incredible guests on their show, and they're sharing their valuable life lessons, whether they've learned in business or life in general. And then on the off Mondays, it's just like today, me and you for some quick solo time, talking about life, talking about goals, talking about staying committed, talking about self love, whatever we get into. But the main mission is to motivate you, challenge you, inspire you, shake you the hell up so that you can grow outside of your own comfort zone and get after the dreams and goals and life that you are excited to live and that you're fulfilled by. Today's episode is about motivation. Staying committed to a goal because I feel like I've been off for a while, but it's really only 1 week, and getting back into the swing of things is difficult. So last week we took a poll on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. It's at Call Blum. So last week I took a kind of questionnaire because a lot of the colleagues that I'm talking to, or a lot of friends, and just people in general, are saying it's really hard to stay committed. It's really hard to stay dedicated to a goal or a mission or something that they want to accomplish, and they don't know why. Like, we're all in this like crazy rut that you have this big dream that you want, or this big goal, or this promise that you made yourself, and now actually doing it, it's really hard to stay on track. So, first and foremost, before we dive into like steps and tactical stuff and like woo woo stuff, because you know your girl is all about that stuff, I want to let you know you're clearly not alone in this, because 90% of you clicked that this was the first one that you're having the biggest problem with, the motivation, the staying on track, staying committed to being on track. So if that makes you feel a little bit better that everybody is in the same position, it should, because we're all human and we all came out of this like COVID world, right? Whether you were on top of it and on top of your game and like thinking about the stuff you want to accomplish, or maybe you use it as like a self-love kind of, you just hung around, and now getting back into the swing of things is really damn hard because you had almost a year of, not to say a vacation, because it certainly wasn't a vacation at all, but to not have to wake up at a certain time or not have to be at the office at a certain time. And a lot of us went through a lot of stress, right? Like, work changed, the dynamics changed, a lot of stuff went on in the world during all of this. So if you were really watching the news or staying on top of everything, clearly the entire world shook up. So we're all coming out of this like, life used to be on track. We used to know exactly what we were doing. We used to be able to kind of figure out our days. Then we went into this world where it was so unknown when and if and how and what the hell was going on and how would we get back to it. And now all of a sudden that the world's opening back up, it's like, well, the day to day is starting to happen again. The everyday mundane that we kind of had a break from is starting to go back into it. So it's starting to get hard to stay on top of like what you wanted to do or what you said you were going to do, because the world is now full force back in your face, running around at high speed the same way we used to, which we used to be used to. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So you're not alone, right? We're all going through this. First and foremost, just give yourself grace and give yourself knowledge, knowing that we're all kind of feeling it and it's completely normal. So, what's today's goal? Today's goal is to get you back on track, to start to implement certain little things throughout your days so that it's not this big daunting task or this like big daunting like self-hate kind of feeling that you're not waking up on time, or you're not working out every day, or you're not eating right, or you're not making all those sales calls, and like you're starting to really go down this like self-defeating avenue, which, if you've listened to any of these episodes before, we are not about that. We are about self love. We are about staying positive and kind of in the healthy way, in the self development way of staying on track to what we want. Because I'm a firm believer that if you don't have the self love within you, everything that you're going for in life, you can get to those milestones, you can get to those goals, you can hit the numbers, you can hit the weight, you can look good in a bikini. But if you're not working on the shit that's going on inside of you, I don't care how many goals you do hit or accomplish, you are going to be emptier and emptier and emptier every level that you get to. What do they say? New level, new devil. You got to work on who you are at the core first and foremost, while you are actually moving towards what you want to accomplish. Because our main goal is to be our own best friend and to be happy in our life. And doing that is checking in ourselves. So, knowing you're not alone, give yourself a damn break. And remember that you freaking matter, right? So, first thing that I think 100% that I know is a way to get you back on track is to take the weekend. I'm telling you, you need to recharge because there's some kind of like self terrorism that goes on within our minds when we're not accomplishing something throughout the weeks. So if you're like, well, I didn't work out again, and I ate another cupcake, and I didn't make all those goals that I wanted, or like that sales call, whatever you're going for, right? If you're constantly in this like self negative talk, this bullshit mentality that you keep telling yourself, the last episode, solo episode that we did, I was saying there's 60,000 thoughts in a day. I was listening to a podcast this week and she was saying 60,000 thoughts of those days, but 95% of them are the exact same thought that you thought of yesterday. So if you told yourself yesterday that you were a piece of trash, that you were unmotivated, all of this bullshit nonsense, you're probably retelling yourself again the same bullshit the next day. So we have to nip that in the bud. We have to give ourselves the leave, the break that you need to recharge, reset, and stop beating yourself up for a few days. You're worthy of a break. You're worthy of slowing down. You're worthy of resetting. It's like getting ready for school. Remember how excited you used to be getting ready for school, and you have like all of this energy or like a new job. You're pumped. You're so excited for it. Start to do that. This weekend, if you haven't for Memorial Day, like I told everybody on Instagram, take your break because we're going full hard into it. Take your break if you haven't yet. You have to take the break because that's going to recharge you, reset, make you stop talking to yourself like you're a piece of nothing because you deserve to kind of just clean slate it. Put the mind at ease, give yourself the binge day that you need on TV, give yourself the break, order the ice cream, and don't be guilty of it. Who cares? Eat the damn ice cream. You know, I'm a firm believer of eating ice cream all the time and pasta. But you have to give yourself the break because that's going to reset you. And when you reset, you're going to be so much more energized than trying to force something down your throat. It's like trying to force a kid to eat the vegetables that they don't want to eat. Sometimes you need to like fluff it up a little bit. So fluff it this weekend. Give yourself the energy, the break, the massage. Go get your nails done. I don't care what you need to do. Pay the little extra, get a little massage with the nails while they're drying. Do what you need to do to reset because you will be so much more committed and excited for Monday morning. Or if you're starting this on Tuesday, which I hope you are, Tuesday, whatever you're starting it, you'll be so much more ready and prepared because you're like, all right, it's game time. We're in this now because I had the rest and the recovery, right? So, first and foremost, take a break first before you go down the, oh, we start Monday nonsense. Do what you got to do. Break it up. Number two, and we're gonna get a little woo woo here because like I said, we love it because I think it really, I swear, it mends in with each other. We could be these type of people out there in this world. I think you really have two types of mentality, right? And it's more like masculine and female. And I can't, it's more of a broad definition, I would say, of that because I know that crosses and I know some men are exactly like this and some females are like this. But a lot of the times, you have more of the masculine side where you're like go getters and you have to get it done and you have to do it and there's no excuses and there's no bullshit. And then you have the female side, the feminine side, who's kind of more like laxative. Like they like to get things done, but they do it in a different manner. It's not really like cutthroat type of mentality. So we have these two sides of us all the time. Now, marrying the two is the hardest thing, and understanding your own chemistry of what works for you is not the same that works for me or your best friend or your boyfriend or your husband. Like what they do to stay motivated and stay committed might not be the chemistry or the things that you need to do for yourself. So, when I think about goal setting, you need to be realistic on what works for you. Like if it's a goal for, let's say, staying healthy or working out, you have to really become mindful of what may work for your spouse or significant other is not may not fall into alignment with you, and you might be actually forcing yourself and being even more upset or even more angry or whatever it is. Like, you're just not feeling it because it's not what you specifically need for yourself. Yes, you might love them dearly, you might be obsessed with them, they might be your soulmate, all of this nonsense, like your best friend is your bestie and all this, but what they can do for themselves is maybe not the same that you need for yours. And that might contradict something that I say later on in the podcast, but just start to recognize really, like, where are you falling out of alignment of your goals? Like, is it because you're trying to be this person? Are you trying to force yourself to be somebody that you're not? We're all so different. And I think that if we go through life, and especially in like fitness world, if you're going and you're trying to get the goal to look like Kylie Jenner, girl, get yourself a plastic surgeon. And I mean that respectfully, right? Like, I have no problem with plastic surgery. I probably would get it in the future. Who knows? Like, after kids, who the hell knows what the body does, right? But if you're looking online and your goal is to look like the beach body, or your goal is to look like X, or to get the jet and fly around and work on the beach with all of this freedom, let me just burst your bubble a little bit here. That's not realistic, because the jet costs money. The working on the beach, I mean, first of all, the laptop gets a glare, so that's really impossible, but it's stressful as hell to work other places too. So, wanting all of this that you see online is wanting something that you may not personally be connected with. So, wanting the Kylie Jenner body, I mean, if you got the money, maybe you can pay for it. But if you're actually looking to like do the work and be healthy, then you need to really write yourself a letter. And that's what I want you to do. And this is where the woo woo stuff comes in. I need you to be really crystal clear on, why is it do you want this? Why do you want to lose weight? If that's what you want and you're committed and you're like, Kyle, I want to work out, tell yourself why in the letter. Write yourself a letter. And I told you this before in a previous podcast. I write myself letters, right? So I write myself a letter for the end of the year, because it's something that if you put it in writing, it's no longer just a dream or a wish or like whatever this we're thinking of, and then our thoughts can always change because we got 60,000 of them. But if you write it down and at the end of the year, you're writing right now, what you do is you write it down as if it was January 1st of 2022, and you're telling yourself what you feel in that moment. So if you wanted to, work out and get healthier or get fitter, or you wanted to hit a career goal, or maybe you wanted to be in a relationship, or you want to, I don't know, have a family, whatever it is, tell yourself how you feel. Talk to yourself as it's already done, so that when you open the letter on January 1st, 2022, you've kind of manifested, or you're bringing it back into light of, this is the person that I am accomplishing or trying to accomplish to be like, to be as, to be this version of myself. So you're writing it today as if it's already happened. And that's, one of the biggest things, Stephanie Verchot, in the coaching that we've done is like, we're talking to ourselves as if it's already done and happened, as if we're already wearing that shirt when we open it. If even if you want to get into the details of like what your house smells like while you're reading the letter, like, I don't know, it's New Year's Eve, maybe you're making some cookies, right? Maybe you have a green hoodie on because it's cold outside and it's snowing, and you've accomplished this crazy great goal, and it's that you feel fit and you feel healthy, and you're able to move around and wear the clothes that you want to, and you feel so confident and proud of yourself. That's the type of letter that I want to write you to write to yourself. Make it factual, make it real, make it a reality, because then it's going to put it into the woo woo, right? The universe, or whatever you believe. You don't have to believe in the universe the way that I kind of believe in the spiritual world, but you can start to really put it into perspective of, this is the person I'm working on becoming. This is the confident, self-loved person, and it's not the Kylie Jenner body that you want. It's the healthy, happy individual, and the work that you've put in to get to that point at the end of the year to be in that relationship, to be in that love, to have that self-love, to be able to be accepted in a relationship. It gets crazy, it gets deeper. Maybe we'll do a whole different episode on the actual letter, but I really want you to start there because you need that break and then you need to get crystal clear on why the hell you're really going after this goal because that may be stopping you and blocking you from actually achieving what you want because it's not really to your core what you should be going after. So if you can break it down on like how you want to feel, why you want to feel a certain way, like for example, like I like to feel strong and I like to work out because I like to protect myself, right? Like I want to know that I could be like I am strong enough to protect myself and I am happy and healthy within my own body and then I'm proud of myself for taking care of myself so that when I do have kids in the future and like when they have kids and grandkids, like I'm mobile and I'm ready to move around and I'm fun and I'm like a mom that can run and keep up with them and maybe help coach them or whatever I'm going to do, but that's why I stay healthy and I stay committed to my goals of health goals is because it's important to me, to my mental sanity, and also to what I want to be in the future, the type of healthy leader that I want to be, and show my kids when I have kids that this is the lifestyle, this is a healthy lifestyle, and this is the right way to do it. So write yourself the letter, get clear on what you want to do because that will really help you on staying focused and staying committed on the super hard days when you really don't feel like doing it. Because let me tell you something, there are plenty of days where we're not perfect, and there are plenty of days where my ass does not want to go to the gym, but I'm committed to my healthy lifestyle. I'm committed to bettering my mental state and my personal state and everything like self-love, and to me self-love is taking care of my body. So you got to find what works for you. So do the letter, it'll help you. Okay. Now that we're done with like the woo woo feeling stuff, I probably will bring it up a bunch more times, right? Like Gabby Bernstein, I love her to death. All of these wonderful leaders of spiritual, like self love, self development. I believe in it, right? You got to work on the shit that's been holding you back. You got to work on the traumas, the bullshit we've all gone through in our lives, because those are the ones, the demons that are holding you back and telling you that you're not worthy, you're not safe to change these goals. So that gets me into this. Most of the times, there's a reason we don't stay on track, right? And maybe we're going to talk about the tactic stuff in a minute. So, most of the time, we're not staying on track because our body is used to this comfort. Our body and mind is used to coming home and putting the TV on and working the 9 to 5 and, staying in the protected kind of mindset of men ain't shit, women are crazy, like all of this stuff, right? So I'm talking like if you want a relationship or if you want to stay fit or like all these goals. So our minds are kind of there. They're brainwashed really our own self through the stuff that we've seen. It's like a movie reel, right? It goes back to the past history of relationships are scary or I don't deserve self-love or I don't deserve love or the cookie is better than the fruit and working out means X and it's too hard. Like our minds and bodies are there. They're kind of neurologically there and they're there to protect us. So any kind of change, and I'm talking any kind of change, your body is going to go into an anxiety kind of written like, hell no, we're not doing this. This is too hard. We're going to stop right here. She can't breathe. She's not going to go forward. She's not going to do this. Relationships are scary. He's not shit. She's not shit. All of this stuff, it's there to protect us. So, defeating our own mind is how and the work that we need to do to be able to get to the next goal and to stay on track to our goal because our mind is there to kind of tell us that safer is easier and safer is better and safer is more comfortable. But if you're really looking for, and if you're fine with safe, that's cool. Like that is your life. There's nothing to it. But this episode strictly is about following through on your goals and what you want to stay committed to. So if you want to stay on track, and I mean, working out is the best kind of example, or like sales calls or relationships, because there's so many other goals that you can go for in life. But those are like the big three that you always hear people want, right? They want love, they want money security, and then they want fitness security. And all of that comes there's right? Security is in all of that. They want to feel safe. So if you don't feel safe while you're going after these things, like those sales calls make you feel really damn uncomfortable, Or going on that date is really freaking scary and you feel like you're sweating from every armpit that you ever had, right? I don't know how many other armpits people have, but then and working out, you're like, I can't breathe. Like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, I feel like everybody's judging me. Your body and mind is there to kind of bring you back to safety. And then you're like, tomorrow, I'm not doing this. Like, this is way too scary. I'm not committed and I can't, I just can't, I can't do this. That is your self defeating, like, mindset coming right in, smacking you in the face, being like, bitch, you ain't shit. All of this stuff. So you have to take a breath in that moment when you start to feel that way. And maybe I'll bring Steph on because we've been doing a lot of like breath work and tapping, and it gets really woo woo, baby. But it helps. I'm telling you, I've been through stuff in life, and goal setting is something where I really fell off. I really, really fell off. Like for a whole year, I pretty much didn't get out of bed. I mean, depression runs in my family. I went through some crazy shit in a past toxic nonsense. And literally for a whole year, I pretty much watched Grey's Anatomy from start to end. Like I love Grey's Anatomy now, but I watch it in doses. Like I literally didn't do anything because I was so depressed and so just like physically couldn't even move. Physically, I hadn't worked out in probably 6 years. I was not healthy at all. Mind, body, soul, everything of every part of me was broken. So when I tell you that getting back into the swing of things was hard, it was so hard and scary and I had to do it alone, but I had to start to really and during COVID really kind of saved me because I had to find myself again. I had to fall back in love with myself. I had to talk to myself a different way. So when your mind is telling you that it's scary and that you can't do this and the comfort of your bed is better and that, the stuff that you're used to is easier, it's there because that was your protection when you needed it. You're allowed to have those breakdowns. You are totally like I am not one for like don't feel the depression when it comes because like bitch like you need to go through that too because that's elevating you to a different level, teaching you stuff on your own, but you do need to get the help, right? So when you're feeling like you're ready to come on the other side, starting to get your body back into the routine of things, that's a totally different game and that's a totally different battle that you have to start facing. So, really starting to talk to yourself as you are worthy, what you deserve in the matter of like, not I deserve $1 million, but in the matter of like, I am worthy of being loved. I am worthy of feeling safe. I am worthy of feeling fit. I am worthy. I deserve to feel healthy and happy and free and loved and like all of this that I always say you deserve, tell yourself what you deserve. You have to start telling yourself because the second you stop, that's when your mind's going to come back in and play the damn tricks on you again. It's going to come back in and say like, "Bitch, we are not working out today because I'd rather go home and eat the chocolate cake." Sometimes you have to work out and then you'll go eat the chocolate cake. And I'm also not saying this in the fact of like you need to become a robot because I am totally not for that. Take the rest and the recovery for when you need, but you need to start staying on track to what you want. And doing that is fighting and combating the stuff that's in your head and telling it to quiet down and that you have bigger dreams and bigger self love that you're working on. And that is why you are going after and taking that step forward. So, combating your mind is probably one of the hardest things to do, but it's the work and the dedication and the self development and the personal development. And I know everybody in the world is shoving it down your face right now, but there's a reason, there's a way to do it. There's a healthy way to take it in and find what works for you. You don't have to do what all of these gurus in the world are telling you to do, but you do have to find something because I'm telling you from personal experience, it helped save my life. It works. It got me back on track. It got me motivated again to start taking care of myself again. So you have to start really combating the reason why the safety net of whatever your brain is telling you because you are a hell of a lot stronger. You deserve the goals that you're going after and the reasons why you're going after them because you wrote yourself the letter. You got clear on why and you are going to accomplish them. You just have to quiet down the mind and kind of fight with your mind. Some days it's harder than others. So be mindful of when it's really hard and you have to listen, like your mind is telling you, hey, we're really tired here. And when it's kind of just being that little scaredy cat in its own head, it's a normal reaction. I swear to you. So when the next time it's like your brain is telling you like, "Hey, we don't want to get out of the car and go to the gym," or like we're going to walk right past the gym today, or we are we are not going to do those sales calls today. Sometimes, you got to check in. Change is hard. It's scary, but it's worth it when it's safe. So tell your mind it's safe, tell yourself it's safe, take it slow, take it one day at a time. And that brings me into the tactical stuff here, right? So when you're thinking about goals and staying on track and staying committed, and now I think we're a little bit past the woo woo stuff. I can't promise that, right? Because it all comes back to normal. I said that already. But so what I want you to do is you got to do what works best for you. There are so many people with so many different tools and tactics. And I really was like thinking about what I was going to talk about today. And I was trying to do like four tactics or like whatever. But really, it comes down to personal preference. If it's working out, you need to find a workout that works for you. Going to the gym doesn't work for everybody. I love to throw weights around, and you already know why. Like, and I, first of all, I'm no CrossFitter, right? Like, I like weights, but I don't do crazy heavy. I do what I can, but I hate running. I hate it. There's nothing about running outside that is peaceful or whatever. It literally makes me miserable. I hate the way my shins start hurting. I can't breathe outside. I don't know what it is. Like, I am fit, but I don't run. I just don't. So I would rather go on the elliptical if I have to do cardio, or I really like working out, like weights or going for walks. Walks are cool. You don't got to run, but you have to find something that works for you. There's CrossFit if you need like a team mentality. There's Orange Theory if you need it. There's yoga. Hot yoga is like once hot yoga is able to like open up again, that is going to be something once a week I'm going to go to because hot yoga is a way to kind of slow yourself down. So if you're not like full force ready to go to the gym and start lifting weights, start by going to yoga. Start by doing yoga out of your bedroom. Start by doing little YouTube videos if you can. All you have to do is 15 minutes. Start with 15 minutes. Then bump it up to 20 minutes, then bump it up to 30 minutes and 35 minutes and go slow. Because if you try to go too big too quick, that's when you're going to be like, nah, I can't do this. This is not sustainable. You have to start with baby steps and you have to do what's right for you. So try out different things. You don't have to get married to just the gym just because you think everybody goes to the gym and that's a cool thing to do. I like the gym just because I like the atmosphere. I like other people. I like my routines. I like being able to do certain things and I don't like being told what to do. So for me, the gym is like my own personal thing. I like to kind of get in my own zone. I put my music on. It's my self therapy. It's kind of the way I can release the day. I also like doing it at night. Some people really love working out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe one day as I get busier, I'm going to have to transition. But right now, while I have the flexibility and the time and the way that I can schedule my day, that's a blessing that I do have with my career and everything going on is that I can schedule my day where I can leave by 4:30 if the day goes right, right? And I can go to the gym or I can leave by 5 or 5:30 or 6 or whatever. And I don't have kids right now, so I could go to the gym at night. But if you have kids or you have a reason or a way that you need to kind of fit in a workout or whatever it is that you're working on, that you got to find what works best for you, the time that works best for you. So figure it out. Play around with certain things. Don't be so hard on yourself as you're figuring this out because every day that you're trying and trying a new thing, you might fall in love with something 2 weeks down the line. It might take you 2 months to figure out what you want. But the goal is to do something, to move your body, to eat healthier, find foods you like. If you don't like it, I don't know, order pizza that night. It's not a big deal. Figure out new recipes that you want. That's my kind of mission is I actually stopped eating meat because I don't feel good when I eat meat at all. I don't know what happened with the world, but it's just something I transitioned into and I stopped eating meat and I don't really have a lot of dairy anymore. So finding foods for me has kind of gotten a little difficult, right? Like I just find myself eating pasta all the time because I would just love pasta. But that's my new goal is to incorporate new recipes or new ways of kind of feeding myself that it's not just pasta. pasta every night or some sort of pasta. It's trying to figure out how can I use chickpeas? How can I use vegetables? What other proteins like tofu can I mix in, and like just opening up my horizons. So I'll keep you guys on that journey because it's going to be interesting to figure out. Like, I'm so used to like meats, and I'm Irish and German, right? Like meats and potatoes. That's all we ate, right? So getting outside of the meat game, it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but I feel good. I feel so much better not eating it. So for me, it's a transition, and it's a weird transition, and it's a learning transition, but it's something that I'm committed to, and a goal for my health and for my sanity of just not feeling good every day. So it's helped me a lot. So figuring out a new way of doing things is me gonna try different recipes, and if it sucks, I'll just go to pasta. We'll see. Another way to stay committed to your goal, and I don't even know what number we're on at, right? I think 2, 4. So a buddy, and I know this contradicts what I was saying before. Here's what I mean by a buddy. You need somebody who's going to hold you accountable. It doesn't have to be that you and your boyfriend or your husband work out at the same exact time and do the same exact workout. It does not mean that you need to be following the same sales goals or the same way your friend's going out on all these dates. No, it's just having somebody there to talk to. A buddy there is so important to help you on the days where you're not feeling like doing it, or on the days where you're scared to do something, or on the days you're having a hard damn time with those sales. Like, you need somebody who's going to hold you accountable, whether it's a team, whether you connect with me on Instagram and you get included on the community that we're building, whatever it is, you need to be involved. That is my biggest thing, is like, I've gone through life thinking that I need to do everything alone, because then it's something where it makes me feel more accomplished, and more all this bullshit mentality where everybody's like, oh, you have to be your own lone wolf. Yeah, to a certain extent, but you also need support. Like, I need people during this entire time. Like, I was going through some things where I was working through some heavy shit, and I was getting through days. Like, I needed those specific people that I could call on and be like, I need you to talk me out of this. Like, I need to get into the gym, and I need to go through this. And they were there. Thankfully, I have a great group of friends and a great support system that is just there to hold me accountable when they can see that I'm falling off track, or they can see that I'm not myself. So having a buddy, having a friend, an accountability partner, just to go through what you're going through, team up, because I bet you somebody else is going to want to get fit. I bet you somebody else is going to want to start eating healthier, or stay on track, or hit those sales goals. Like, whatever it is, get a buddy. I promise you, that buddy system is like back in elementary school. It helps you. It saves me. It helps me on my days where I'm a total bitch and I need somebody to just talk to and get myself out of it, because reality is, life is hard. Life is gonna drag us through the dirt. Just because you're on this self-development, like wanting to go after goals, does not mean that it gets easier whatsoever. It actually gets harder as you keep going on. So you do need those accountability partners to say like, no, I went to the gym this morning, so you have to go to the gym. Or, you know, if you do take a break, you're allowed to take one break off, or you're not allowed 2 days in a row bad. You're allowed one bad day, but that second day, you got to get back on the bandwagon. So you need that support to kind of talk you through those hard days and be like, you know what, it's fine to take the day off, but tomorrow you're back to it, and I'll make sure you're back to it, right? So get yourself a buddy. Last thing and final thing, because I don't want to keep rambling on, because I could talk about this stuff all day long. I know it is so important to have a morning routine and a nighttime routine. But again, it has to work for you. What I do in my mornings and my day does not match your schedule, does not match your day, does not match your life, does not match your family's life. Like, what goes on in my house does not go on in your house, vice versa, right? We could live 2 totally different lives. So what I show you online, or what I talk about here, you need to figure out, again, what works for you. But you do need to implement non-negotiables in your day. I'm so committed to that now. So for me, example, morning routines, the same way you get up and brush your teeth, I hope that's a non-negotiable, but the same way you do that, you have to set yourself in a self-development, self-love, self-commitment type of non-negotiable. So for me, what's been going on is I've obviously tried to start meditation. It's not as easy as people say it is. Some days I really want to crawl out of my skin, but I set the timer. It's called Inset Timer. It's an app. I'll put it in the show notes. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever, but it's a great meditation timer because for me, my mind is going 100 miles a minute. I have anxiety. I always go through like past shit that I always think of all the time. And lately, it's been really helping me stay grounded in the moment, in the present, and the day, and taking day in the day by day bites instead of like thinking I need to save the entire world. So for me, Incense Timer has been great. Meditation is great. It is a non-negotiable for me that I do not look at my phone, like social media, the news, text messages, anything, until I do a 15-minute morning meditation. And I'm talking lately, I haven't even been able to give myself the cup of coffee, which if you're a coffee addict like I am, that is a non-negotiable coffee in the morning. But the meditation for me has been so helpful. And I've done it, I was on and off, on and off. And then I was like, you know what? I need to stay committed to this. So for the past 7 days, I have been doing this and it's really a way, and I was never this person, right? Like, just so you know, like I was never this woo-woo type of like self-love, self-commitment. Like I always kind of like took care of myself, but I always did it for like external shit. Like now it's actually to make Colleen happy and to make Colleen at peace because I don't like the way I feel when I'm out of alignment. So for me, it's really important to stay committed to my self-worth and self-love, and doing that is checking in with myself, and by doing that in the morning, I'm able to get it done. So that is my one morning non-negotiable, but in my morning routine. And then you need a nighttime routine. Like for me, my nighttime routine consists of going to the gym. Some people's morning routine will be including the workout in the morning, including the walk. Like maybe your nighttime routine is included going for a walk before or after dinner, getting your steps in or whatever they want to say, right? But just you have to have something set up for you because it makes getting to your goals and getting to your life ambitions or like whatever you want to go for so much easier and better because day to day you kind of know where you're at. You know where you can kind of finagle your time and where you can't finagle your time. Like my nighttime routine has to be setting out the clothes that I want for the gym, setting out maybe what I'm going to wear in the morning because sometimes that changes in the morning, but for the most part, I kind of have an idea, like based on the weather. I look at the weather, what's it going to look like? New York City, you got to walk around, right? So, like, what are the pants you can wear? What are the shoes you can wear? It's like little stuff like that you may not have to think of. But, like, what can my hair look like in the morning? Do I need to wash it tonight? Can I wash it in the morning? Like, little stuff like that, that when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel flustered. Like, I'll set up the coffee pot the night before so that when I wake up, all I just have to hit is the on button. It's little stuff like that in the nighttime routine that it's going to set you up for your morning routine because what we can conquer in that little stuff will totally help you stay on track to your goals and the way you want to live your life. It makes it so much more peaceful. And if you're not the type of person that is able to do this or thinks like Kyle, that is not my jam. Like I'm not organized. Like I can't wake up early in the morning. Like I'm so all over the place. I keep telling myself that I want to do all of this stuff. And then I wake up and then I'm not motivated and I'm not. Try the little steps of setting yourself up the night before. Setting yourself up the night before may help you feel more motivated to actually put the workout clothes on or to throw them in your bag and figure out if morning sucks for you to do it, try it at night. Maybe you're the type that like me, like I like at the end of the night working out because to me it kind of relaxes me and then I know I'm done for the day. Morning time, I don't know. I feel like I just put so much into the workout that by the time I get to work, I don't want to work. So you have to figure out what works for you and you have to keep trying. That's why it's so important to write yourself the letter, get super crystal clear, give yourself the breaks when you need it, but really listening to your body. Like, is that my mind just telling me like I really shouldn't be doing this and I don't have to and I'm fine just the way I am? Or if I'm really committed to like really wanting to stay healthy or really wanting to receive more income because I want to make my children's lives better or I want a future that I don't have to feel so stressed paying for my bills. You have to really figure out why you want it. Get crystal clear in that letter. Tell yourself exactly the way you feel on January 1st when you were opening it up. You can start over at any time that you need, but why start over when you can just restart tomorrow? That's my thing is don't let another day, don't let another week, don't let another month go by or another year go by that you're like, I could have, should have, would have. Look at all these people like reaching all these goals or like posting all this stuff on social media. Don't compare yourself to them. You are fully capable of getting everything that you want. But first and foremost is the self love and the self combat that you need to face within to be able to set yourself up. And it's the little nitty gritty stuff of the day to day that one baby step at a time. Don't go after this goal like a big chunk of it because that is where you will burn out. Take it day by day. Give yourself the leisure and the stress relief and the stuff that you need within your day by handling the stupid little mundane stuff like setting up the coffee pot or finding your shoes in the morning. That little stuff helps you so much more in the mornings. And then getting to your goal is that much a hell of a lot easier. And it's more fun because you're more relaxed to then be like, hey, I want to go for a drink after work instead of working out because I worked out 4 days a week this week. Then do that. You're able to do that because then you don't feel the guilt. You're letting yourself off the hook that, you know what, you're putting in the time, you're the effort, the self development, that you're able to freaking enjoy your life. Because how many times do we see these millionaires or these super fit people or these like go getters that they're always hungry and looking for more and bigger and better? That's because they're never fulfilled in their day to day. So don't be one of those on your journey to wherever you want, on the goals that you want. Make sure that you're falling in love with yourself every single day, that you're enjoying who you're becoming every single day, and give yourself the luxury to fall off track and then pick yourself up and dust it off and get back to it. Fall in love with the accountability, fall in love with the goal getting, fall in love with the process more importantly than actually falling in love with a goal. Because the point of the journey is how good it feels to feel good. That's what we're working for. That's what you're working towards on whatever kind of goal it is. So stay committed, stay on track. And like I said, if you need any help, any kind of like, you got it, any kind of support, let me know. I would love to hook you up with somebody in the accountability group. So this way you can stay on track to your goals. If you want the support, we got your back. I will see you next week for an all new episode, but I hope you have a kick ass week and I hope this really helps you narrow down on your goals and stay committed and stay on track. I will be posting every single day or most days. On the days that I don't feel like posting, I'm not going to, but I'm going to stay committed to the goals just so you can see that this is the way I do it. I would love for you to post your life because it really does help motivate some other people too. So stay on top of it. You got it. Remember, you are completely unstoppable.
The future is now.